What if your webcam could actually follow you around like a personal cameraman? Well, this little gadget does exactly that, and might be one of the smartest webcams I've ever tested. If you're a streamer, a YouTuber, or just someone constantly on video calls, this could make a huge difference to your setup and your experience. Today, we're talking about the OBSBOT Meet 2, a tiny but powerful webcam built for creators, professionals, and anyone who wants to look better on camera. That's it. First thing first, it's ridiculously portable. Like, this is the webcam. Just look at how small this thing is. At only 45 by 36 by 22 millimeters, it's pocket sized. But don't let the size fool you, as you know quite well. Inside you're getting sharp video quality, clever AI features, not the usual gimmick, and a design that feels way more premium than your average webcam. Right here you see the white version, but there's also in grey and in light blue green, which seems to be the cooler color. So why am I saying this is perfect for streamers and YouTubers? The answer is the auto framing feature. Once you download the Obsbot Center software, the Meet 2 really shows its potential. The camera uses AI to recognize your face and automatically keep you centered in the shot. This means you can walk around while streaming, cooking, working out, or building a PC, and the frame follows you. You don't need to constantly think about where you are on screen. Like, if I move right here, it looks garbage. But with this little camera, webcam, you can move however you like and you'll constantly be on the center of the frame. And it's not just for solo creators. If you bring in friends or co-workers, the AI adapts and adjusts the frame so everyone stays visible. I know that if you're anything like me, you hate all the AI features sprinkled around like nonsense, but this is actually one of the few examples of useful AI. If you've ever tried to film multiple people with a normal camera, you know how frustrating it is, because naturally people move, the frame gets awkward, someone's cut off. Well, with this little Meet 2, it fixes that with no effort from you. Now, for the most important aspect though, video quality. This is where it really shines compared to built-in laptop webcams or average webcams. The Meet 2 records in 4K at 30 FPS with an f1.8 aperture lens. This means that your image looks sharp and bright even in dim lighting. If you really want to hit the 60 FPS though, you can by scaling down to 1080p. But I personally prefer 4K 30 FPS for video recording, because it doesn't feel as bad as it does in video games, but the sharper video image really does make a difference. Laptop webcams often make you look like you're hiding in a cave. With this, you'll still be clear and visible. I honestly think laptop users will love this camera the most, because of its size, obviously. You can take it literally anywhere and instantly have a streaming setup. Let me show you how. This is literally all you need, just a laptop and the webcam, and you're good to go. The microphone integrated, it has actually two microphones. It's pretty good, especially if you don't stream in an extremely loud and noisy environment. It's a pretty peaceful day right now, so there's not a lot of noise coming outside or from the rest of my house. So this is kind of a best case scenario, but you get the idea of the audio quality. And I'm pretty far away. I'm like 2.5 meters away from the webcam right now. I can come closer. Let me just crouch a little bit so that you can clearly see me. This is literally all you need to stream nowadays, which is incredibly sick in my opinion. Traveling, stream from your hotel room. Teaching yoga, record yourself in the park. Building a PC, mount it right above your desk and zoom in to show all the small details just by using a simple hand gesture like this. Sort of though, we'll talk about it later on. That's something I love. You can control zoom with gestures, so you don't even need to touch your computer. The Obsbot Center software gives you even more control, some of which are useful features and some of which are pretty useless in my opinion. Let's have a closer look at the software. We are now in the OBSBOT Center, which is the name of the software, and we have a couple of options. First of all, the auto framing, we can select group mode if you're more than one, obviously. single close-up, which is gonna focus a little bit more on my face, as you can see, and upper body, which is gonna take a little bit more like from the nipples upwards. You can also deactivate it and select by yourself where do you want your zoom to be. That's pretty neat, but let's enable auto framing once again. We have a couple of options for the image itself. Also HDR, which is kind of cool, but I don't do videos in HDR, so I'm not gonna enable it. We have autofocus. I left it on the face because it's the most reasonable place to focus. Then exposure, anti-flicker, which is extremely cool, especially if you have like a neon sign or an LED sign. Electro boom, recently made a video about it, so make sure to go check it out. White balance and some general settings for the camera. If we go in more, we can also adjust a little bit the gesture control. We can select the kind of autofocus that it puts and the zoom amount. About the audio, I left it on weak because where I record it's not so noisy at all. Then we can mirror the image, so flip it, indicator status, there's a small LED, let me show it to you. You can see there's a small LED which is green when everything's cool, then there's blue if it recognizes a gesture, and then we can update the firmware. If we go into the beauty settings, we can select the blur, which is your standard blur, but you can select how aggressive to be. 8 if you want people to not see anything behind you. I'm gonna leave it at 3 ANSI. I'm gonna turn it off at all. Then there's retouch, which basically makes you skinnier and smoother face, but you can also adjust it to your preferences. And then the filters, which is a color filter basically, so you can adjust it as you prefer. If you wanna record using like OBS, you have to enable this virtual image because otherwise you won't be able to use all the smart features, which is a bummer. Inside the box you get the Meet 2 itself, a USB-C to USB-C cable, a small adapter from USB-C to USB-A, and this and the cover for your OBSBOT Meet 2, so that you don't need to worry about you getting seen whatsoever. You also get a small tripod mount which you can place on your monitor like this. This is magnetic, so you can put it both horizontally and vertically. And this is good if you don't need a really fancy setup, but I would recommend a proper tripod. The camera has also a standard 1/4 inch mount, so it's compatible with all your existing gear if you're used to using a proper camera. One of the coolest setups in my opinion is mounting it on a microphone arm, super flexible, and you can instantly switch between filming yourself and whatever's on your desk. I would love to show it to you, but I don't have a boom arm anymore, so right now I can't. Let's now talk about the downsides, because obviously, as any other products, it has its downsides. First, the gesture zoom. Right now, it only works when the camera detects a face. That means if you're filming an unboxing or trying to zoom into a desk without being in the frame, you're out of luck. Probably is to avoid false triggers, but it's still frustrating. Hopefully something they can fix in a software update, because that's basically the neural network trying to first detect a face and then detect the gesture. I feel so stupid doing this without a natural change of framing. Second, the software itself. OBSBOT Center is only available for Windows and macOS. I really wish it worked on iOS and Android. Because if it did, you could pair this tiny camera with your phone and have a full streaming setup anywhere. You wouldn't even need the laptop anymore. It can be possible to use external cameras on your Android and iOS devices, even though it's not as straightforward as with a PC or a MacBook. So it would have been sick to be able to stream with the webcam from your phone or tablet. Third, the hand gesture recognition. Sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's just bad. Since the AI features are kinda the main sell point of this camera, I really hope that with software updates it's going to get better. But right now there's room for improvement. Now, price. The Meet 2 costs about €150 or $130 US, which is kind of a weird conversion, but that's what it is. At that price point, it's on the more expensive side obviously, but considering the portability, AI features and 4K quality, I think it delivers solid value for creators who want flexibility, simplicity, and great video and audio quality. Just know that from now on I'll be using this Meet 2 as a second camera for all my videos. So, who's this for? If you're a content creator, streamer, or just someone who's constantly on video calls and wants to look more professional without complicated gear, the OBSBOT Meet 2 is honestly one of the smartest webcams you can get right now. There are obviously other alternatives, but they're either more complicated or more expensive, or both. This one is compact, feature-packed, and the smart features give it that little advantage over similar webcams. What do you think though? Would you use this webcam for streaming workouts, or maybe even for something creative like cooking or fitness videos? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description. Thanks to OBSBOT for sending over the Meet 2 for a review. This is not a sponsored video, so what I said is what I think about it. And thank you so much for sticking until the end of the video. Let me know, how do you like this new framing? Because I've changed it from my previous videos. I honestly think it looks more cozy, more cool, but obviously you're the judge of my video, so let me know down in the comments. Make sure to leave a like, hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!